Good evening. I'm Jessica Ralston, live here at Northmore High School, where it's truly been an emotional day as those who knew the deputy honored his memory and his sacrifice. When a law enforcement officer dies in the line of duty, we see a band of brothers and sisters come out and support each other. Let me show you the sea of law enforcement that showed up to honor the deputy today. Hundreds of police cruisers from all over filling this parking lot. And from many parts of the country, we saw officers from New York and Chicago in attendance. In a few minutes, we're going to talk with those officers about why it was so important for them to make the trip here. But first tonight, the service today at Northmore High School here in the gym filled with a community in mourning, people gathering together to honor a young life that was taken far too soon. We heard from former Sheriff Steve Brenneman, current Morrow County Sheriff John Hinton, Attorney General Dave Yost, and a close friend who went through training with Daniel, Franklin County Deputy Mike Brewer. All of them sharing what type of man Daniel Weston Sherrer was and how this is such a profound loss in so many ways. In a solemn room filled with family, friends, brothers and sisters who wear the badge, and the community he served, a final goodbye to Daniel Weston Sherrer.
May God bless and keep this fine young man, taken far too soon and full of much promise.
Those who knew him best reflecting on the legacy of a dedicated deputy who at just 31 years old and 4 years into the job was killed in the line of duty.
He was serving a community he loved.
But this day was not about how Daniel died. Instead, it was about how he lived.
He had confidence, candidness, connection, capability, and above all, character.
Character and a love for law enforcement that grew from a young age. At 6 years old, he knew he wanted to be of service.
He had found his niche. He had found his calling.
One that posed a danger every day but gave him no room for pause. Instead, it was his passion and his purpose.
There are people who have lived twice as long and had half as much substance.
A job that he carried out with no intent to harm. His goal was always and only to help.
He sought peace. He was a man of peace, but he was a warrior inside.
A man who leaves behind a lasting legacy.
Whether you knew him or not, this has had and will impact you.
A hero in Morrow County and beyond, who no one will soon forget. And even in death, Daniel, who many called Weston, his middle name, performed a final, selfless act, saving lives through organ donation. He leaves behind his parents, Dan and Julie, his sister Selby, and a fiancée, Alexandria.
All units be advised, Deputy Daniel Weston Sherrer ended his watch on May 26, 2025 at 21:13. Deputy Sherrer, we thank you for your dedication and loyalty. You have served with courage and valor for the citizens of Morrow County. Your sacrifice for the Morrow County Sheriff's Office and the badge will never be forgotten. You will never be forgotten. Your final visit is complete. Rest in peace, we die from here. Godspeed on your journey, sir. You will be missed by us.
That was a look at the outside service that took here after the funeral service inside that gymnasium today. Plenty of emotion as his casket was carried away, and that is when his family went to a private ceremony, a graveside service.
It's horrible. It's a small town. It's a small county.
Chief Brian Bennington, Central Township's Joint Fire District. It's always bad when you lose a fellow first responder, but we need to stay together and be strong for the communities and show our respect for his family and his community.
This was hard. This town, we haven't seen nothing like this. It hurts. It hurts.
I used to be a dispatcher, so this comes close to my heart. This deputy specifically, last summer came out to my house for a call. We were met with kindness and professionalism.
For his parents, Dan and Julie, I'm just so sorry.
He was always super nice, super friendly. He talked to everyone.
So I worked on the jail side primarily. I seen him pretty frequently. He was at our first wedding. He was just himself. It was like one of the times I got to see him out of uniform. He was there acting himself, dancing, going crazy.
Yeah. One of the moms had this made after we won the 5th grade Diocese Championship. This is Weston down here. The motor was always running, so it was just a pleasure to be around him and to coach him back in the day.
He was a very happy-go-lucky guy, type of person that would, give the shirt off the back to anybody, help anybody in need. Was here for the whole community. As you can see, the whole community is out here gathering with him. It's all about helping people. Building that relationship with the community is exactly what he did, and I think he unfortunately died doing what he loved, is helping the community.
That we will never ever forget the sacrifice made by Deputy Sherrer.
Shots of grief ring through the air as Deputy Daniel Weston Sherrer is laid to rest after paying the ultimate sacrifice.
It is wonderful to see the outpouring of support from law enforcement officers all across the country, but it's also heartbreaking that we have to do this.
It's a trend that's unsettling to State FOP President Jay McDonald. In Central Ohio alone, 3 separate incidents of violence against officers, including Sherrer's death.
It is gross. It is outrageous. It is disgusting, the level of violence that is directed at law enforcement officers. But in spite of that, the men and women of law enforcement show up to work every day to protect their fellow neighbors.
Which is why the FOP is calling on lawmakers to take action.
Hold people accountable who take actions that place the lives of law enforcement officers all across the state, from the river to the lake, in jeopardy.
Governor DeWine moved by the volume of agencies coming together to support a fellow Ohioan.
We are a local police state. The more assistance that we can give them from the state legislature, the better.
DeWine stressed the importance of more training so officers are best equipped for any situation.
It certainly appears they did everything right, but what law enforcement will always tell me is, the more training you can get all our men and women, what we call scenario-based training, just the better off it is.
We asked Governor DeWine if his office or the legislature would be committed towards written action to help decrease violence for law enforcement.
And so the legislature, frankly, in the last few years at my request, has been very good at doing that. We have to continue to do that. We have over 1,000 police departments in the state of Ohio, law enforcement agencies, and they all can use our help.
But for now, these officers and agencies from across the nation turning on their red and blue lights to be a beacon on what has been a dark day.
Today's a day to celebrate the life of Deputy Daniel Sherrer. Tomorrow, we're going to lay out a plan on how to prevent these in the future.
And like the FOP said, they will be gathering tomorrow to discuss that plan. Now, among the local and state actions that they want taken, a federal bill kept coming up, the Protect and Serve Act. It's a federal law that aims to punish people who intentionally harm law enforcement, an offense that is up to 10 years in prison, a federal crime. Now, of course, this is a continuing story. We'll have much more information on our ABC6 app, but for now, live in Morrow County, on your side, Kirsten Lindquist, ABC6 News. Back to you, Jessica.
Kirsten, thank you. Up next for this community is moving on without one of their most beloved members. After all, Sheriff Hinton said today during that service that Deputy Sherrer could have been the next sheriff of Morrow County. Rodney, they will certainly never forget him.
They certainly will not. Thank you very much for your coverage tonight, Jessica. And as the community mourns the deputy, the suspect accused of taking his life is behind bars tonight in Delaware County. Brian Wilson made his first court appearance yesterday. His bond was set at $5 million. Depending on what a Morrow County grand jury decides, he could face the death penalty. He will be back in court on June 9th.